tired.
No, we're good, Brady. Unfortunately, I gotta get one of these this home.
Okay. As long as everything is in there.
All right, everybody. So welcome to our project. You've been seeing the progress that we've been making on the built-in here. So most of the main framing is done. We're still going to work on building a raised hearth on the bottom. You know, the biggest thing with this is all planning ahead of time. We planned out this build based on the stud location on the wall. So the first thing I did is identified where the studs were at in the wall on either side of the TV and all the way under the TV. So I knew what area we were working with to build it even on either side of the television. Once we know those dimensions, we looked at things that we wanted to do, like a mantle. So we have the mantle that we found at 84 inches, so that fits perfectly within the dimensions of the frame, and we built it kind of around that idea. Then the next step was to draw out on paper the things that we wanted to do. We knew that we wanted to have the fireplace. We knew we wanted to have a raised hearth. We wanted to have a little bit of a cubby hole for electronics, the mantle, and then the television. So once we knew the stud locations on here, it was doing the math on here to see what we would need on here. And initially I was going to do this with a lot of 2x4s and 2x2s, but I just ended up making it a little beefier with 2x6s and 2x8s to make it a little bit beefier and more of a solid build for the surround. So we built the enclosure first and then started kind of from the ground up, making sure that everything was level and even. The best advice you can get, you probably heard it before, is to measure twice and cut once. Sometimes you have to measure 3 or 4 times. And then we made sure everything is level every step of the way as you go along the build.
We have a 60-inch fireplace.
Yeah, this is
touchstone, and it'll be linked down below.
Yeah, this is a 60-inch touchstone, which is just dry fit into here right now. We'll have to remove it to install the drywall around there and then reinstall the fireplace. and then start putting some of the airstone bricks over there before we put the glass back on. But we just wanted to make sure that the touchstone fit and fit securely in there, and that it was good and sturdy. The other part for us was making sure that, you know, not only us, but if we, you know, move and leave this, that this will be user friendly for people who want to add, you know, electronics or whatever else they want to add to the TV. So we did some built-in spaces here behind the wall to add cords to the wall. We had to do, and excuse because this is very rough still, but we had to add the electrical back here. Kind of my own little rigging system here. I actually use PVC pipe to run some of the cords down that will be at the bottom of this unit once I'm all done. So it works pretty well. This is an 1.5 inch PVC pipe. I probably will go with a bigger PVC pipe next time I do it, nor I might even do it before we finish everything up. But it works pretty well. I put the cord down there with no problem, and it came out at the bottom. So then the game plan is to build a raised hearth down here with an access door at the bottom that will put some of our electronics in there, PlayStation and whatever else that we want to put in there. But the surround sound, or if we get a sound bar, will fit neatly in this area. Like we have these little Bose speakers now, that when it's said and done, we'll be able to go in there securely once it's all said and done. So that's it, just a lot of planning and measuring. It really was not too difficult of a build. This is probably a good solid 2 days of work, all in all. It's just making sure that you have your measurements and going piece by piece. As I went from the bottom, I just made sure, okay, what do I have above there? What do I have above there? And the most, you know, you want to make sure that the fireplace was level, and you definitely want to make sure that these supports for the mantle that will be coming are all level all the way across, so that it fits nicely up there, and we'll go even with our shelf here at the top. So that's where we're at.
Bye.
One touch of a button connects her to an urgent fastest call. Assess your situation, confirm your location, and send you the help.
Would you like to say
Oh, my knees. All right, so we have most of the construction complete on here, and we're getting to our airstone today. As you can kind of see, the box has got this patterning on here, the different colors, and you can see some examples that they have on the top here, some outdoor applications. However, when we got this out, here's what it looks like, and I gotta be honest with you, I'm not super impressed with how it looks. You know, it does not look natural. To give you some kind of a comparison and what we're going to end up going with, and at this point I'm very glad that I built this structure very soundly that I did. We're going to have to go with I'm going to show you the difference in this. We're going to end up going with these, which are substantially heavier, but look at the difference in the quality there. So and it is substantially heavier. This is probably, you know, if I had to guess, see if it actually says on here, if it has the weight. It doesn't have a weight on there. I would say probably a good 3 pounds, compared to when all this is together. This is maybe 1.5 pounds, maybe. It's about half the weight. So that's definitely a consideration if you're going to be doing a project like this, is if you got to use this real stone, is to make sure that it's very solid construction. So I'm glad that I did that, and I'll just have to make sure I reinforce our drywall and everything with a few more screws and make sure everything is very structurally sound, and then we'll apply those brick veneers there in sections at a time to make sure that it sticks, since it is a little bit heavier. So not a real big fan of the air stone, I gotta be honest with you. So I was
surprised.
I was kind of excited to use the product, being it was so light and everything, but it's just it's not for us. I need to make sure it's secure.